Hi, Bo Huffman here from the Hastings and Kearney GNCs. We want each and every single person to live well each and every day. So whatever your health need, question, or concern, we're here to do just that for you. So whether it's a multivitamin, a fish oil, a calcium, whatever the case may be, we want you to live well each and every day to get the most out of your life.
Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Hub, brought to you by GNC. I'm your host, Connor O'Gara, joined by Nathan Hart. Nathan, we're approaching the halfway point of the basketball season. Kind of a weird thought to be at that point already, but as usual, we have our three stars, and it starts with Jordan Lemberg of Broken Bow. And Jordan Lemberg is somebody that has repeatedly been a guy that could fall into this category.
A double-double machine. He had another one Tuesday night, 19 points, 10 rebounds. The team won against SMC. They've gotten off to a slow start this season, but their schedule's been really, really rough. I would expect more wins to come in 2014, and he'll be a big part of that.
Another big part of their team success, Amy Johnson of Ravenna had a big performance. She had 22 points, 8 rebounds, and a big 59-34 win against Arapahoe. That was last Friday in the Pleasanton Holiday Tournament. And Johnson really stepped up. She's 5'10". She can take you off the dribble. She can post up. She can do a variety of things. And Noah Malsby said when she gets going, that offense is really tough to stop.
Another player that did well Tuesday night, Anna Eggers, 31 points, 10 rebounds for Elwood. They lost to Alma. The team's off to a slow start, but if she can keep putting up performances like that, they're going to start finding their winning ways. For this week's GNC Muscle Man Pick of the Week, we're looking at Elm Creek and Wilcox-Hildreth, a showdown at Wilcox Saturday at 7 p.m. We got two 8-1 teams here, both good teams. Wilcox is led by Shane and Tristan Farley. They average 10 points a game apiece. Really balanced scoring, though. They have several other players that average between 5 and 10 points per game. For Elm Creek, they also have a balanced scoring attack led by Nick Crowley, Zach Johnson. They're both around 13 points a game. Elm Creek's a very efficient team. 55% effective field goal percentage, assists on 65% of their baskets. This team is very efficient offensively. It'll be a good test for Wilcox. Their schedule hasn't been the strongest so far, so it'll be a good barometer game for the Falcons. I'd expect the Buffaloes to come out, though, on top on Saturday, 59-51. And for this week's Sports Hub, we're going to focus in on some young stars with our freshman focus. It starts with Minden's Taylor Kissinger. We've talked about Brooke. We've talked about Jamie. We might as well talk about Taylor as well. She's averaging 14 points per game, 6-foot, athletic, wing player. She's attracting Division I interest. She's really the final piece of the puzzle. Minden's a team, obviously the storyline's well known. Made it to state last year, lost in the first round. They're wanting to win state this year. They're looking like a team that can do just that. Taylor, the freshman, may be that final piece of the puzzle.
And somebody else that could be the final piece of the puzzle and really has shown versatility this year, Jake Techmeyer of Ravenna, somebody that has stepped into that role as a freshman point guard. Paul Baranek has a lot of trust in him. Really, Techmeyer stepped up big time when they needed buckets down the stretch against Bertrand, not only to score buckets from the outside, from the inside, but he's able to find guys. He's able to look and find Blake Cremosa, get Tom Sichkowski involved, Brady Standage, and really Techmeyer is such a key to what that team is able to do. He's got that sweet lefty stroke from the outside, and really he doesn't look like a freshman when he's on the floor. He's got that assertiveness. And another freshman that is freshman lefty actually. We'll just stay on that theme. Trevor Adelung of Amherst has really stepped up this year for the Broncos. He has emerged as one of their go-to scorers, a guy that can kind of do it all. He's able to shoot from the outside, and at 5'7", he's still not afraid to drive and cause contact on the inside. He's somebody that they're going to look to rely on heavily as the season plays out.
For this week's edition of the Coach's Corner, I got a chance to speak with Kearney Catholic coach Rick Petrie. Team's off to another unbeaten start, and he gives a few reasons why he thinks the team's doing well.
You know, we get a great group of girls who work really hard, and I think that's really important. Practices are pretty competitive, and I think anytime you can have a competitive practice, it just helps you get ready for games. We're going to work on some individual skills. Like I said before, I think our posts need to get a little bit better. I think we need to learn to run our sets a little bit better. We don't always get into our sets very well, but I think that's an area we can improve on. And defensively, we keep working on improving our defense every single day.
For our three in the key segment, we're going to focus first on the Bertrand boys. The Bertrand boys, a team that got off to a really nice 6-0 start, a very young team. Robert Edgren is the only senior starting on that team. But at the same time, they don't have much depth. They really only go about 6 deep. So a big key for them is to be able to stay out of foul trouble. You saw what happened in the Ravenna game when that team is susceptible to some early fouls. Robert Edgerton picked up his third foul in the third quarter of that game, and it was a complete turning point. So they need to be able to stay out of foul trouble if they're going to be able to be one of those teams on the rise this year.
Another team, the Overton boys, need to stay in a higher gear the entire game. This is a team that has the capability to do just that. They have the athletes, Joel Schaefer, Hayden Cahoy, Tanner Ryan. They're a state caliber team, but against Kearney Catholic, they found themselves down 22 at halftime, and they kicked it into another gear in the second half, came back and won. Here's a state caliber team that also lost to a 2-win Centura team. They have that ability to do well, to stay in that high gear. They have the athletes to do that, and they need to do that to find success this season.
Having that extra gear can kind of be a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yes, for sure.
And another team kind of similar along those lines, the Arapahoe girls. The scorers just need to be more assertive when they fall behind. That's a team that's not used to playing from behind very often. And Kaylee Watson, Rochelle Wendland need to be able to step up and call for the ball in those situations where they are down by 5-6 points. And I understand letting a game come to you, and that's all well and good, but in those situations, they need to step up and be the go-to scorers that team is going to rely on to kind of dig themselves out of some of those deficits. We're at that point in the season where we're going to have good games across the Hub territory every single weekend. This weekend is no different. We have Ravenna, Wood River, Overton, Amherst, Bertrand, Southern Valley. We have good games across the Hub territory, and we're excited to be getting into the second half of the schedule here. So for Connor O'Gara and Nathan Hart, this has been the Sports Hub brought to you by GNC. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.